Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about protein, and it's been such a highly debated topic for sure. There are needs that we have as humans and as people, and then there's genetic influences, illnesses, stages of life that all sort of influence how much protein we need, and also trying to figure out what protein sources are best for us individually. So again, there's a lot of debate about that, but we can look at genetics, we can look at blood types, we can look at how someone digestively processes things, and I feel like I've always been the great guinea pig. So anyway, I grew up in Boston, Mass, a little bit outside of that in Medford, and I remember as a young child going to the Hilltop Steakhouse with my folks, and we would wait sometimes 3 hours in line to get in and get this delicious steak that was actually even a pound of steak or more, even for a child. So anyway, that goes back to my days of compulsive eating, overeating, etc. Move on forward, when I finished up my undergraduate work in foods and nutrition, I did a little stint in chiropractic school and really enjoyed it. I finished out my semester, did really well, but I said, you know what, I really wanted to do more in the counseling and nutrition arenas. But I remember being in Texas with now the 1.5 to 2 pound steaks. So we've come a long way from that time. But what I want to talk about today are how do we add in protein powders and protein supplements in bars, because those are questions that I get all the time. And for me, again, I told you I use myself as the guinea pig because I've had so many digestive issues and food allergies, and really understand sort of my biochemistry, from pre-birth, up through now, with also certain hits in life with various kinds of illnesses. But from a digestive standpoint, I don't do great with plant-sourced proteins, at least not as a major way of doing my protein sources. I'm also sensitive to dairy, so a lot of the good whey products, and I recommend low heat processed and things of that nature, really don't digestively work well for me. So I've come up with a great combination, and when I work with my clients, I try to figure out what's going to be the best combinations for them. Number one, you want to look for sustainably and organically sourced proteins to the best of your ability. So I look for organic, I look for non-GMO, I look for companies and try to go directly to the companies as opposed to going through a knockoff brand where warehousing and things like that may not be as efficacious as they should be. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about hemp protein. So this is one that I use. I can use a little bit of hemp. I love it. It adds fiber, it adds alpha-linoleic acid, and it's just a great protein source. I also use a marine-based collagen. So because I'm using a beef-based protein, which I'll show you in a moment, I like to get my amino acids from a variety of sources. So this one from Vital Nutrients is a marine collagen, and so that provides me with some of those other options for amino acid support as well. And we all know that fish is brain food, which can be really beneficial for us. It's also good for our gut health. Another one that I love is called Pure Paleo Protein, and this is just beef amino acids. So as I mentioned, each of us have our own digestive capacity. And for me, I do better with flesh proteins. So I use a little bit of the beef bovine. Want to make sure that it's been lead tested and certified. So again, this is where some of these third-party certifications become really, really important. So I use a combination of these three in my breakfast in the morning. I'm not a smoothie person, so I make my proteins into what I call protein puddings, and if anybody's interested in learning a little bit more about that, please reach out to me, because I feel like I'm the alchemist in the kitchen, but usually come up with things that taste pretty good. So on to bars. Thing that you want to really look for in a bar is ideally 3 grams of fiber or more, but not beyond 10. We start getting up into really high numbers for fiber. It can actually stop up the colon and make us even more bloated and constipated. And for people who have SIBO and Candida, having super high fiber high fiber sources is not really ideal. So I like the Tosi bar. Tosi bar is made of plant proteins and seeds and some nuts and things like that. So for somebody who might be seed and nut sensitive or allergic, this one might not work. But I do have a few others that I do like that have been, again, organically sourced and have those right parameters. So parameters for me are 3 grams of fiber or more, but ideally not more than 10. And I like to see the sugars at 6 grams or less, which again is not always easy. But if there's too many sugar alcohols, those words that end in OL, then that can produce more gas and diarrhea for some sensitive individuals as well. Last food that I want to show you that's not a bar, but I love this. It's called Pro Granola by Julian Bakery. It's available in your Whole Food stores, Lazy Acres, online. You can even get it on Amazon. I think certain foods on Amazon are fine. But what I like about this is it's a good protein source and a good fiber source, but you only need a little bit. So on my protein pudding in the morning, I have my berries and I mix it with my protein powders. I have a little bit of ghee mixed in there, and then I top it with some of this Pro Granola for crunch, and it is absolutely delicious. So I hope that this has been helpful for you today. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can also look at my blog from this past week, and I actually focused a little bit more on specifics regarding protein powders and bars. Have a great day.